Shift of gears to a positive direction, so to speak, because when we're talking about money, everybody wants to be, attentive. They want to listen. They want to understand. And sometimes we say, there's all this advice about money. It's just that we really are not privileged to get it. And so this very segment of Morning Cafe, I take about 30 minutes of your time to enlighten you on how best you can manage your finances. We are going personal. Forget about what, entity is all about. Forget about anything else. Forget about what it is that you make, every month. It is just how the moment you get a hold of money, any amount of money, you're able to create this balance. And the meme was going around that if your money or the money that you have is not able to help you, kula yote. And it made so much sense to many of us because after all, yes, there is money, but just what can you do with it in this time that things are tough and expensive? You just ask yourself, okay, fine, the money is here, but you're going to pay all your debts. And then you go back to square one. End month is here, and it's actually end month for many people. So perhaps there are people who've already squandered all the money that they've been given. And I use the word squandered categorically because the financial expert right here will tell you that as little as it is, you can always, create that balance. As little as it is, you can always get to save for tomorrow. So Ngotho Alexander, branch manager, Fortune Sacco Nairobi, is here with us. One of the key things that we're always told to invest on, is the question of Saccos. And those ones that have gotten into Saccos will tell you that they've been able to do so much in life that they never expected they would. And so that also is a very great point to look at when we're talking about personal investment, when we're talking about managing your own finances. And so Ngotho Alexander, after a very long time, thank you so much for creating time to be with us.
Thank you.
Yes, do you agree that kama haitoshi mtu akule? And sometimes you eat with confidence, you go out there and you treat yourself, because after all, even if you keep it, it will not do much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Linda, for having me. My name is Ngotho Alexander. I work with Fortune Sacco here at Nairobi branch.
Yeah.
And thank you for the invite of a topic that I'm so passionate about, personal finance, matters of savings, and how best your money can work for you. So maybe on that meme, I think it's out of desperation because we are having a lot of challenges, the incomes are shrinking, the cost of living is going up. So I think by saying that when the money is not enough, you can eat it.
Yeah.
I think that comes out of desperation and also the lack of know-how, not knowing that even however small amount of money is, you can be able to set aside a percentage to save for future. Yes, so I think it's just out of desperation,
and lack of knowledge.
And lack of knowledge, lack of know-how, and also maybe where can I start the journey?
You tell me, how much can lack of knowledge be lack of knowledge when you perhaps make 15,000 a month?
Yes.
That is maybe taxed. I don't know whether it's taxed anymore, as the president gave some bit of caution back then, but even if it's not being taxed, say you make 15,000 a month, you have like 2 kids that are supposed to go to school, you have rent to pay, you have, that task of feeding your family, you have other, things here and there that you have to manage. Pretty much little, what can you keep?
That is interesting because like now in Fortune Sacco, we have people like now the low income earners earning as little as 300 bob per day, and what we have been able to advise them is one, if you have to look at the income, then live according to that income. 15,000 is not small money, I can say, because you have, if it is rent, you have to stay in a house that you can afford. If it is expenses, the expenses must be within that mean of that income. So again, we have the 50-30-20 rule, where the 50%...
Just a second, 50-30-20, yes.
Yes, the 50-30-20, 50 goes to the necessities. We have the rent, we have the food, we have also 30 going to wants. These are like, entertainment, all that. And then the 20 goes to savings, purely savings. And these savings can be in different categories. You have an account for emergency. You have a savings account. because again the savings, like in a Sacco, you're earning an interest on it. So I think there is no small amount of money. It is just how you can manage that amount to make sure that you are able to attend to all the needs. Yes.
I know I'm taking this a little bit too fast before we even expound on that. Just how quick can one be able to say bounce back, adjust their finances, adjust their means, adjust their modes of survival in the event that you know, danger hits? For instance, yes, you were getting a lot of money at this point, or you were getting money and then all of a sudden you have lost your job, or all of a sudden the businesses have gone down, or all of a sudden the high cost of living, and therefore, you know, the prices of commodities then become expensive. How quick can one get to adjust and still do not, you know, lose that grip?
All right. So I think especially like the past experiences with COVID and like, a lot of young people and everyone else was affected. And something that I've seen it as a challenge is we have to be true to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like now, if you have lost a job, you are staying in like down home, etc. The rent was around 20,000. So being able to be true to yourself that now, according to how things are now, I cannot afford this rent. Maybe according to how things are now, I cannot afford to be maybe clubbing every weekend.
Yes.
So I think first you have to come into terms with the reality, accept that these things these are happening, and now how now do I turn this upside down? And like now adjusting your lifestyle, adjusting your expenses. Even sometimes school, maybe your kids were in a certain school and that loss of income has come. You have to be true to yourself and say, now I cannot afford to make my kids go to this school. And we have also good schools at a lower price. Then maybe when things turn around, then now you can also readjust that or get back to. So I think we have to be true to ourselves and be ready to adjust when such times have come.
Okay. Yeah. I look at this and I think it's a very good point to start us off. Personal finance, the tips and tricks. Just what exactly is finance, you know, personal finance management?
Basically, in simpler terms, it's how you manage your money and getting the most out of it. So personal finance involves a lot of things, but in this case we can talk of savings, there is spending, there is budgeting, there is planning on that finances. So that's what basically it entails, being able to manage that little resource that you have, and that little resource, it works best for you in all scope of your life. Yes. All
right, so here we are, and I guess we are all yearning to learn from Ngotho as to how best you can balance this. And true to it, there is never going to be, you know, a filled cup of money.
Yeah.
And so every time as you keep hoping that tomorrow will be better, you realize that, you know, that tomorrow comes with more and more responsibilities, and therefore it's just how you're able to manage this. Yes. And so what are some of the key things to consider anytime one is thinking about their finances and how they get to manage them proper, so that, you know, at the end of the day it works in favor of them, so that at the end of the day they are able to save something for the rainy days?
I think what I can say, I believe in terms of now managing that finance, you have to have a goal. And most of the time, why do people not save? Is because they don't have a particular goal. They don't have a path where they want to be, maybe in 1 year, 2 years down the line. So first you have to have a goal. Then we usually, we don't save what is left.
Yeah.
That's where the challenge comes in. Mostly when the salary hits in, when you make that sale, after all that, now you are looking at, hey, I'm left with this amount of money. And because it will be usually small, you have no amount to save. So I think that goal will drive you. Make saving a first priority. If you get like 15,000, you can set aside as little as 500 per month, as little as 1,000 per month. Again, we say savings must not be painful. You know, it must not be that when now you are saving, you
feel the pinch that you have to deny yourself.
No.
But most of the people, say that that should be it. And I mean, most of the financial advisors will tell you that, you lazima ujinyime leo ndio kesho ukue sawa. And then you ask yourself, when are you going to live life? If you will have to deny yourself, if you will go out with friends and you cannot buy anything for yourself because you are trying to keep or to save for tomorrow.
But I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Personally, I believe that savings should be enjoyable. Savings should be an exciting journey. A journey that you are enjoying as you move around.
Yeah.
So, like now, my income that I get every month, what I say is, what is that amount I can set aside comfortably and live, the normal life? It's not that because I'm saving, I take like 50,000 and save, then I don't have rent, or Rad Road is knocking on my door. So I think, what is that amount that you can comfortably set aside and also be able to live your normal life? So that will make the savings journey exciting. Okay,
let's talk about the savings journey and understand what are some of the forms that you can adapt to make the savings journey exciting, to make it sound like, you're doing a good thing and you're happy, and after all, you're not worried of today, neither are you worried of tomorrow. What are some of these options that are available that would help us make the saving process happy, or a happy process?
One, I will go back to having that goal, and like personally what I've done, you in that aspect of you can get that somebody who can be able to guide you in the saving journey. Share that goal with him or her, such that every now and then he or she will be reminding you. The other thing is, what is that do you want to achieve? Is it smart? Smart is specific, measurable, attainable. Because sometimes I want to live in Nuda in the next 5 years. It is not possible. So we have to, is it attainable? Once you have something that is attainable, maybe I say in 1 year, 2 years down the line, I want to have a car. And again, by having a car, it does not mean that I will own a Mercedes. We also start somewhere. And the challenge that has been is we are comparing ourselves too much. Like now in my setup, I look at my colleagues, is she living like this? So I think saving is too personal. How much can you make? How much can you make to save and live according to it? People are saving 10,000 per month. That is them, because that is their income. They are able to manage that. So if you can manage 1,000, make it 1,000 and live with it. Yes.
All right, that's amazing. So let's talk about the options that are available. For instance, we're talking about, getting into Saccos. And even in managing financial or personal finances, I know it gets to levels where, yes, the money is here, but now you have to calculate proper and get to know how you use it. And while you use it, make sure that you also do not exhaust what is there. Because you see, you just don't want to save millions and millions that you will use, I don't know, at old age. You want these millions that you're saving to get you assets. You want these millions that you're saving to get you something tangible as you move along the journey of life. So in this case, when we're talking about the likes of the Saccos and all that, there's always that general fear of people, say, taking loans. Because now you're thinking, if I invest in a Sacco, perhaps the Sacco would say there's no way I can be withdrawing my monies every time of the year. So how do I get to benefit? And there are people who genuinely fear or probably do not have a understanding of loans and all that. How would you advise such people as they get into the journey of saving, and not just saving under the mattress, as people used to do, but just getting to understand the other options that are there?
All right. So like in Fortune Sacco, what happens is, for any Sacco, for instance, you have to be a member. And maybe this is something that people don't understand, a lot of people, between a Sacco and a commercial bank. In a commercial bank, you are just a customer. Once you close that account, or maybe once you are not saving with them, you have no business with them. But in Sacco, you become part and parcel of the shareholders.
Yes.
You become an owner. And being an owner, it's like your business. In case you set up a business, you expect at a certain period of time, there is an income towards it. So the journey towards being a member, first, we have to be a member by buying the minimum shares. And different Saccos have different criteria in terms of amount. Fortune Sacco, we have, like if you want to become a member, we just need 10 shares, each at 100. That makes it 1,000. And we usually say, we don't lock anyone out. You don't have to have this 1,000 at a go. There's a way you can start with 200, 300 as you step by step. Then the moment you hit the 1,000, now you become a full member, and 150 for registration. So from there, the savings journey starts. And from there, being a Sacco, you usually have different investment accounts. And us, what happens? Like when you have an account with us, that money we invest by lending to our members. So once we lend, you have to get an interest on that money. We are using your money to lend to other Sacco members. Like when you have 100,000 in the account, you are guaranteed of 10,000 every year. That is 10% per year.
That is dividends.
That is interest.
That is interest.
Interest.
Okay.
Yes. Then from there we have share capital. Share capital, it's the shareholding of the Sacco. That one gives you dividend. Like this year, you are able to declare 12%. Not many Saccos are doing such a payout. So you find that, and you can add as much as you can. We say that it's an investment account. This is something that even your kids can benefit towards it. Those people who got the dividend payout, you had school fees, you can pay. You had some charges, you can sort out your needs. You can invest that dividend towards growing your share capital. Okay. Yes.
Okay, and you know, you speak of kids, and this is one of the things that we probably do. There are people who are genuine enough for themselves to know that, yes, these are kids that I have sired, and therefore, as I bring them to the world, let's make sure that we keep something for them. There are others who will say, no, they will grow up and make sure that they fix their own finances, and they say, and probably leave that rogue lifestyle, you know, so to speak. So here we are. Why is it that majority of people are now getting into the Sacco space, and why is it that for the longest of time there's not been that much of embrace for the same?
One, the key strong thing is the Saccos, the regulation has come out so strong. We have a body SASRA, which regulates the Sacco movement. And again, the posting that we are doing annually, like the savings, the number of members is growing. We also have the dividends that we are declaring. So the affordable loans that we are giving out. So I think people are now understand the journey of why we need to be in Saccos. Again, the money invested in Saccos is earning you. So people are also now understanding that my money will not just sit there and not earn anything at the end of the year. So if I have that certain amount, I am assured, I'm guaranteed of getting an interest, getting a dividend, and also getting a loan. It has also been a challenge, sometimes getting a loan in a bank. Like us in Fortune Sacco, Nairobi branch, we have customers coming in, like borrowing $1 million, and within no time they have that amount. Really, we can get such a turnaround time in the way we operate. So we have also reduced, you know, the operational bit, where the turnaround is lessened. You are able to get quick cash, and then Saccos have embraced technology. We have now, like, we have a Fortune eCash. I have an app that I can transact. I don't need to get to the branch. I have a USSD, *638 hash. So I can be able even to save, I can be able to withdraw, I can be able even to pay my suppliers if I'm in business. So we are now operating just like banks.
And that sounds interesting, but there's still a concern here as to how open Saccos are, because traditionally the system was that you put your money inside there. You cannot withdraw, you can only take loans. And when it comes to a time and perhaps you think, well, I cannot manage paying, then you have to sell the shares to people you easily do not find a chance to sell, to get. No one wants to buy the shares, and therefore in this space you get to a point of crisis. So you want to exit the Sacco and you want to use your money, or you want your money to help you, but you cannot access it. How different is it today? Is it still the system, or we are getting away from that traditional aspect where you cannot withdraw your money in the event that, well, there's a crisis?
I would say sometimes knowledge, because before little knowledge was shared within the people. But example like Fortune, we have different types of accounts. We have the share capital, that is the shareholding. This account, once you are saving in debt, in case you want to exit, we provide a platform where you can sell to another person. We have a Zidisha shares account. We call them back office savings.
Okay.
And this is maybe why people get a lot of confusion. Because when you hear of back office savings, these are your savings, but you cannot withdraw over the counter. You don't have access over it, but it's still your money.
Okay.
So what happens? This account assists you in getting a loan. Currently, we are doing ×5. We are also doing even ×6.
Oh, it goes to ×5 because
Yes,
again, there are people who say with Saccos they're rigid at ×3.
No. As again with the competition, with the savings, cultivating savings growing, we are doing ×5.
Why are you changing the rules of the game?
Because we have seen that what is happening, in order to open up to a large scope, in order to embrace everyone. And then again, we need to be on the fast, because most of the Saccos are doing ×3, others, not many are doing ×4. So we said, why can't we do ×5? Okay. And again, we also have our loans. Our loans, the risk is not as high, so why can we not do a multiplier of 5? And also we go even ×6. If you are doing a development, for example, if you have a plot you want to develop, we can go up to ×6. So what usually happens, that account, because it's not accessible over the counter, in case you need that money back, you just write us a notice of 60 days, and you get your full amount.
Full?
Yeah,
full adjustments,
no adjustment, no cost. So
no
then,
interest?
No, you'll get an interest.
Well, you
so
will.
What happens, because that account is not withdrawable on the counter, that is what I will pick from you and led to Kamau or Joroge or someone.
Yeah.
So that account earns an interest of 8%. And this one we give at 31st of December. Okay. It's automatic. So what happens, now there is a difference of dividend and interest. Dividend is on shareholding, the account that you can only sell to another person. Interest is now on the back office or the Zidisha shares, and that is the account that gives loan.
There are instances where one cannot remit anymore because of the difficulties that come along with life and life. You are a member of a Sacco with a certain amount of monthly contribution, but now this month you're not in a position to do that because of the reasons that life would present to us and the challenges. What then happens in such a case?
What usually happens in Fortune Sacco, we have embraced everyone. Whether you're employed, whether you're in business.
And I mean, we would love to know what happens across, because by the time Fortune Sacco settles for that, I'm sure you've done your research across to know,
so what maybe the Saccos that have mandatory savings, in such an instance, you can go to your Sacco, write a letter saying that you'll not manage to remit your contribution because of this and this reason. And maybe you can give yourselves time, 3 months, 6 months. We all listen, not Sacco, because you are a member, you're not a customer. Yeah. So you come first in everything. So we can be able to adjust and maybe tell us when can you bounce back to now limiting your savings. We have no penalty for such, just because you are unable to contribute. Even when it comes to loan, because you are unemployed, then you lose the job, you can also come to us. I have lost the job, but I hope maybe in 3-6 months I'll be able to bounce back. So there is a way we can hold the loan or restructure after you bounce back. So we have all different options, which are not punitive.
All right. Yes. When we're talking about personal finances, sometimes we tend to focus much on, those ones that have little money. But there are instances where people have a lot of money. And I mean, we have seen our sportsmen and women going down, getting millions and billions of money, in the activities that they conduct. And therefore, because they never had people to advise them accordingly, then they lost it somewhere on the way. So we get to understand, for those ones that have lots and lots of money, for those ones that really money is not a problem, How do they manage their finances, you know, at that personal level, so that they do not end up being bankrupt, so that they do not end up in the ditch? And especially when it comes to the question of saving, one would want to ask, with all this money, invest, you know, in different baskets, or just one basket and strengthen it and make the best of it?
What happens for those people who large sums of money, when you listen to their stories, it's not that they had not tried something of the sort, but again, we have had a wide range of different investments. And what is lacking is how safe is those investments. Recently, a lot of people lost almost 1.94 billion
Yes.
in cryptos.
Yes.
Such. It's not that those people never wanted to save, but the nature of their savings is what makes it. Again, we also want to, you know, the rich, you know, you want that quick return. That's what's missing a lot of people. So for those high earners, we have even safe way of saving. We have bonds, government bonds. We have treasury bills. We have stock market where they can put in their money. So I think there is that need to have these outfits, and taking time to study, and also getting to know more about them. We have seen real estate going down as much as it's so safe. So before you put that money, you really need to have done your research. We also have even personal finance advisors, somebody who can walk through the journey and advise you on the possible or best options to save. So again, whether do you save in one and grow or have multiple, that also depends, because again, like now, if you focus on one, if we say like Fortune Sacco, that means higher returns, because again, there is that money, huge amount. Again, different outfits because of risk involved, right? But it depends with the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that you speak of it, I know, depending on the person or with the person, it's safe that we also get to know the options of saving. We have very many people who've just left campus, perhaps you know, stayed out of school for 2 years, and are now lucky enough to secure themselves jobs. At this very point, naive, zero idea on where to begin. Of course, the excitement of getting yourself clothes and 2-3 things at this very first moment, but after that, you need to get your act together. Speak to those ones. What are the possible available options of saving that would be out there that perhaps they would want to try?
So we have a lot of young people finishing school, and I would wish the financial literacy can start at that level, because again, most of us realize when it's too late. You had maybe you know, used a lot of money into non-generating activities. So we can start from that level in school, in high school, knowing that you can be able to start investing as early as you are. And again, different form of investment. We have Saccos, as I mentioned. We have the stock market. Also, there is need to a lot of education on that. We also have money market. We have different outfits offering money market, and they have different rates and interest. So again, in this case, you also need to do your research very well, and also look for a reputable organization where you can put your money into.
All right. How expensive or how friendly or how, you know, safe is it for one to work with a personal financial advisor?
One, it will reduce the risk in a case where you have made a bad decision. So, for example, you have lost $1 million. It's not, if you compare it by having a personal advisor. And again, we have, different organizations offering classes. You know, when you are many, the cost comes down. Rather than having somebody to work with you personally,
Yeah.
we have different outfits also. Again, offering financial literacy classes. Maybe you subscribe for a month, 3 months, 6 months course, and by the end of it, you'll have a lot of knowledge on how best you can make your money work for you. Yes.
Okay.
So I think that's the best for me, because the cost is minimal,
It's minimal
compared to
at
now
the end
having,
of
yes.
Okay.
And again, now you are sharing knowledge with you know, a scope of people from different environments, and also sharing experiences. So I think that's where it becomes exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's amazing. Alexander, allow us to take a quick break,
All
and
right.
then we come back, you know, and probably wind up 10 minutes on this very matter.
Thank you so much.
Asante.
All right.
Despite being visually impaired, he is a jack of all trades. It is our quest to find answers on how to take care of children with special needs and those with disability. You do not need to see musical notes to understand music, but rather to have your soul feel the vibe.
Actually, for us to make a wheelchair, we have to take measurements of the user.
After doing my assessment, I get to know the parent, I get to know the heaviness she's carrying.
Disability comes at different stages of life.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates. Baraza la Siasa.
Hiyo kitu azungumzie, angalie hali ya maisha ya watu.
Informative health discussions. Business, farming. Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs,
waimbaji, kuna comedians, alafu kuna wajinga.
and music bands every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next set of millionaires are farmers, as we know agriculture has been and still is the backbone of our economy. As we traverse the different counties to meet different farmers, we ensure to get the story of how they started farming and even how they continue to penetrate the market and overcome the challenges.
Hapa, the reason why niliweka goose na si ducks. Goose, they are very easy to maintain.
A lot of farmers keep on calling, inquiring whether you're supposed to raise some seeds in the nursery or you're supposed to do them directly in the field.
The greenhouse helps us control the temperature because the temperature needs to be between 28 to 32 degrees.
Walk this journey with us every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. It's no secret, construction ain't cheap. But how do we make it affordable? Different individuals are finding ways of cutting down cost by use of pre-stressed slabs other than reinforced concrete, recycling plastics to make pavers.
The brick is stronger, it's cheaper, and it's lighter.
And recycling wastewater in your household.
What happens to my waste from the washroom, the solid waste? All that can break down.
Those are just but a few. Every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. we talk construction.
There's no alpha without an omega. There's no lead without any followers. No man is an island.
a certain period, then it gets to a point where, you know, the discipline goes down. So in such a scenario, what would be your advice to those ones that are handling money? Yeah. For instance, I have had instances where I've been told, you know, ongea na mtu wa finance, make sure that itakatiwa huko ikiendanga. What is the need for that if I can be disciplined?
I think, you know, the saving journey, sometimes it has its low and high moments.
Yeah.
And one thing, personally, the best for those employed is the deduction at source. Remember, there is no small amount. Again, Linda, if I give you like 500,000,
yes,
you'll get to use it.
Yes.
So I believe once maybe you can instruct your HR or your finance. Maybe I usually get 50,000. Can you be deducting 5,000? So in this case, once you have the deduction at source, there is that consistency. You see, once you get that 45,000 in the account, that's what you'll work with. But once the money hits in the account, there are a lot of needs that will come. And eventually you might find along the way you have not managed to save, or else you had, or you wanted to save 5,000, you'll see now, hey, I put 2K. So, but having that deduction at source is good. And like for Fortune Sacco, even those in business, however small it is, we have a standing order where we have customers, members having a daily standing order. We have people saving as little as 50 bob. This is where money is deducted from your transactional account and towards any investment account that you wish. So, like those people come to the branch, and once we give them the balance, they are shocked because one, there is consistency. There is also that ease. You know, money is just deducted when you are going with your daily activities. So deduction at source, having a standing order, either daily, weekly, monthly, it helps to build the saving. There is that consistency, and this discipline will be instilled because whatever you get is what you'll use.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Another important thing is the question of knowledge.
Yes.
And I think the moment you want to venture into this journey of, you know, saving and all that, first of all, knowledge of getting to invest in the right entities, you started by saying, is very, very important.
Very important.
So how do you do your due diligence to at least say that is fine? It's not 100%, but I can bank on this, you know, Sacco, I can bank on Fortune, I can bank with a certain bank, I can invest my money on these kind of investments, like for instance, you know, assets and all that, without having the fears that perhaps this would crumble down on you and you will lose your monies and all that. I know it's a risk, but just how do you conduct this due diligence? Where do you get this knowledge of knowing that this is the right direction to take? These are agents that are good. This is a legit and registered Sacco.
I think one thing, there is little information over the internet. For example, in Saccos, we have the SASRA body. You can go to the website and look at your Sacco. Is it regulated by SASRA? Again, for Saccos, how are they conducting their AGM on an annual basis? How has been the declare of dividend trend? So if you look at if it is on an increase, if it is on a decline, you also need to know why. Again, look at the lives touched. You know, with the social media, you can be able to say that maybe this person is on a Sacco, I'm in this Sacco, so that builds confidence. In terms of the different outfits, you can follow maybe news, performance, yearly performance that they usually post. Again, on like Facebook, we have different groups where people have come together and they enlighten themselves in terms of which is the best outfit to do. So there is a whole lot of information, even on your phone. You can be able to Google. Maybe you want to save in a different thing, just Google, look at all that sort of information.
Okay.
And then you'll be able to make your decision.
Are there say, spaces where you know that this is where we have a list of Saccos that are registered, where one can go to and say, okay, well, you can go through this and be sure that this is a registered bank with the government, you know, has followed all the mechanisms and all the procedures that are expected of them, have, you know, like probably gone through all the policies and the guidelines of setting up a Sacco. I mean, any specific professional sites for that?
Yeah, like we have the SASRA, we have the SASRA website, Sacco Authority, that regulates all the Saccos. It has a list of all the Saccos which are regulated. And what happens, we get a license every year. It's renewed. So there's no way that maybe a Sacco will be licensed and maybe take so long. Every year there is that review. Is this Sacco still fit to conduct member and savings business? So that provides all that.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's amazing. And I mean, when it comes to the question of assets, like you have said, it's very important that one conducts their research deep, you know, for them to be safe on this one. So as we probably come to a close, and I know there's so much that we have not touched on when it comes to the question of personal finances, what is this that you would tell the people that are watching this morning that is crucial, that is important as to the tips and the tricks that lie, you know, on this ground of managing personal finances?
One, I can say it's not late. It's not late. Start where you are with what you have.
Okay.
Make that goal. In 1 year, 2 years, 5 years goal. Because, you know, with no particular goal, any journey can, any route can take you, you know, you are going. So it's very important. Again, let's live within our means. That's really a challenge to most of us. You find that I want to live like Linda. I want to live like so and so. So that will really help you in this journey. Again, save fast. Don't save what is left. So,
okay.
Yeah, because most of the time you find that once the money hits in, you do your things, then the kidogo that is left is what you consider to save. And most of the time, because it is so kidogo, you just throw your hands and
and to save next month.
And to save next month. Then the next month goes the same. So there is need to have that. Again, saving is exciting. Saving, you are able to manage. You are able to manage your finances. You have that sense of security. Linda, let me tell you this. When you like sit down and know that you have like 200,000 sitting somewhere, you know that sense of
joy that comes with that. I know.
You know.
But is it not risky as well? Because nowadays we really have many forms of access, and therefore it could be a savings account, but you know you're able to access like once in a month. So sometimes you can be foolish enough to literally not be disciplined on the aspect of savings, and so you want to go and withdraw a bit and withdraw. How can we get to balance this, or maybe to just probably stop these bad habits?
So I think like in Fortune Sacco, our investment accounts, you cannot just walk in and access the amount. So we lock for a certain period of time. We can lock it for 3 months. 3 months you will not access that amount. You can lock it for 6 months. 9 months or 12 months. So that one I've been able to assist most of our members in terms of not being able to access when you need. And usually what usually happens, in our case we have an account known as GNU account. This is an investment account. It's more of a fixed account, but it allows you to add as little as you can, as frequent as possible, and you can be able to get 90% of the amount in it. So in this case, because you don't want to distort your savings journey, like if you have 100,000 and you're in a crisis, you can come and access 90% of that, while you still continue with your savings journey. So then once you borrow, you're able to sort out your issues, then you come back now to, so we have all those sort of, but in terms of the savings journey, wherever you put your money, you have to ensure that it's not accessible all the time. Sometimes you are in a, you are in a different setup, you want to use it, mobile banking, you withdraw 1,000.
Mobile banking is a danger. It's a good thing, but again, it's also
So mobile banking, I usually recommend it for transactional.
That's true.
If you're in business, once you make your sales, you need to pay suppliers, etc. But if it is purely savings, then make sure that your account is not accessible for a particular period and not any time.
Alexander Ngotho, thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. And, you know, simple tips of how best you can just manage your finances. It is possible. Some of them will tell you they have done so well. It's not because they get a lot of money. It is just because they plan. And so plan. That's very, very important. As we come to a close, we want to say asante sana. How do they get a hold of Fortune Sacco?
Fortune Sacco, our head office is in Kerugoya, but again, we now opening branches to cover more areas. In Nairobi, we are in the junction of River Road and Lonangala, a building called Menengai 2 House. So when you come there, you will be able to get the necessary assistance. Again, we have our website, www.fortune.co.ke. We also have our social media pages. You can get to us, then you'll be able to be assisted.
Asante sana. Yes. All right, we close it to that. I know this is a conversation that continues. If you're joining us right now, not to worry, because you can always get this on our social media platforms. Get in there, get the tips that we've given you, and bit by bit,